and he becomes filthy rich. He wins it big. He's no longer sad Corbin, he's happy Corbin. What a dumb name. What the frick is a madcap? Riddick Moss didn't even know. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Ramblin' About Wrestling podcast. I'm your host, Nick Pearl, and as you can see, I'm not in costume today. Halloween's over. But something that's spooky to me is WWE. I don't know if they're calling them releases or if they're just not extending contracts. There are 3 wrestlers as of now, as of this podcast episode recording, at 3:30 p.m. on Monday, November 4th. And 3 people that are no longer going to be with WWE are Baron Corbin, Tegan Knox, my girl, and Indy Hartwell. These are 3 people that have been in WWE for a decent amount of time. Tegan Knox hasn't been able to showcase her full capabilities. Hopefully once the 90 days are up, I think her and Indy got released, but Corbin's contract isn't being renewed. Really weird, the wording, like I said. But the guy I want to talk about the most right now is Baron Corbin. Out of all 3 of these people, I've been able to sit and watch his entire WWE career, except for when he was in Enhancement Talent when he first got brought in. There's not a ton of guys that I could say this with, where I was watching and then he shows up, has his whole run, ups and downs, constant up and downs with Corbin, probably more so than anybody, but one of the most reliable wrestlers and workers in your entire company. For you to say, we will not be renewing your contract, you're gone, I don't know if that wording means he's got a 90-day no-compete. Can he show up in another company as soon as that expiration date is reached? I don't know. Let's go through the whole career of Baron Corbin.
Won't take what's mine. You'll burn and I'll rise.
My first memories of Baron Corbin. He got brought into NXT as this unstoppable monster. You had him and you had Bull Dempsey. Both were going in and just squashing everybody in front of them. In the case of Corbin, the crowd would start counting the seconds in each of his matches until he would hit that end of days, the most protected finisher in all of wrestling. Only one person is kicked out of it, and that's Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania, and it was the biggest mistake they ever could have made. You build up your 2 unstoppable monsters in Baron Corbin and Bull Dempsey. Corbin beats Dempsey. He's the most dominant wrestler in NXT. Bull Dempsey then gets released down the line. Not really sure what he's up to anymore. But Corbin should have been a main event player down in NXT. What came from this undefeated run? Nothing. Following that, he did lose to Samoa Joe, but that's fine. It's Samoa Joe. And then he has a run with Rhino in the NXT Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, where they came in second place. They lost to Samoa Joe and Finn Balor, I believe. But in this Tag Team Classic, he hit one of the cleanest end of days that you'll ever see in all of his time in WWE. And it was on Chad Gable. The finish to this match, Gable was going for like a Hurricane Rana kind of thing, DDT, and then Corbin just catches him with the end of days, boom. He's donezo. I wish we were able to see this version of Corbin more and more, but we weren't. We got robbed of it. After that, Corbin's like done. Nothing else to do in NXT. Could have been a world champion. He wasn't. At WrestleMania 32, I remember this vividly. He gets called up. His first ever main roster match is the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And he freaking wins. They're putting all the spotlight on this guy on the biggest show of the year. People don't know who the hell he is. He wins his Battle Royal, last eliminating Kane. And then he gets put into a feud with Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth, he's the guy that you want to go up against. And he will make you look the best. Keep that in mind for a little bit later on. Then comes the 2016 WWE Draft. After Corbin and Ziggler finish their feud, Corbin gets drafted to SmackDown. SmackDown was in a big rebuilding phase. This is the golden era of SmackDown Live at this point. Dean Ambrose, WWE Champion, and they need a main event scene. They got John Cena, they got Bray Wyatt, they got Dolph Ziggler, AJ Styles. Who else is there? They have a 6-pack challenge where the winner would go on to face Dean Ambrose for the WWE Championship. And in this match, you had your 4 main guys, and then you had the 2 up-and-coming guys in Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin. They actually had a little bit of a feud down in NXT prior to them getting called up. And it's funny because it comes full circle. They ended up being a tag team before Corbin got let go from the company. So they started their careers together, and they ended their careers together in WWE. Not Cruz just yet. Hopefully he stays. Corbin didn't win this match, but he put on a great showing. And you'd think his stock's going to rise because he wins Money in the Bank. Corbin's going to be WWE champion. He does not. He gets his name added to the list of people that unfortunately failed to cash in. And who did he cash in against? He cashed in against Jinder Mahal, who was having a match against John Cena, and Jinder rolled him up. What's the point? Is he a main event guy, or is he not? I don't understand why you didn't give him the belt. He had a decent run with Money in the Bank for that time period, let's say. But he ends up getting a match at SummerSlam against John Cena. But he lost that too. So nothing good is really going his way here. A little while later, he does win the United States Championship. He only held it for 70 days though, because at Clash of Champions, and I remember this match because I'm pretty sure the finish was good. Ziggler ended up beating Corbin for the United States Championship, and if I'm not mistaken, Ziggler just kind of walks away, leaves the belt in the middle of the ring the next episode of SmackDown for literally no reason. So that whole thing just pisses me off a little bit. But moving from there, you get the Constable Corbin. He gets sent back to Raw. It wasn't the draft, it was the Superstar Shakeup. Stupid star shakeup is what I call it. He comes out bald now. He doesn't have any more hair, and he's basically the general manager of Raw. One of his first name changes. Really dumb. As the Constable, though, he did get Kurt Angle's retirement match at WrestleMania 35, but it was not very good. I don't think it's the fault of him or Kurt. It's just people didn't want to see it. The crowd energy was not there, and it didn't even get time. But Corbin did beat Angle. So following that victory, he goes into the Universal Championship picture against Seth Rollins, which is one of the longest feuds. At least it felt like it was long as hell. Ever. Corbin going for the Universal belt. Then he's with Lacey Evans, and Lacey's trying to get the women's belt off of Becky Lynch. I don't even want to talk about that. I really don't, because it's not good memories. This time was just so boring. And from Constable to King, he then becomes King Corbin in 2019. He wins the King of the Ring, which is another chance to push him to the top of the company. But it doesn't work because King Corbin just makes no sense to have, especially when he's king for 2 years and he doesn't even win a championship. But he gets drafted again in 2019. If you can't guess the pattern, he's going back and forth between brands like every single year. WrestleMania 36, he somehow, for some reason, had a match against Elias and he lost. So from having a match against John Cena at SummerSlam to having a match against Elias on a random WrestleMania. Then he loses Money in the Bank again, the one where they ran through the WWE HQ, which I think is the best Money in the Bank ever because it's cinematic. Eventually, he ends up dropping the King gimmick to King Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke didn't need that crown either. It's King of the Ring. It's supposed to last a year. I mean, Gunther's King of the Ring. He didn't even freaking wear a crown. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Now he's just Baron Corbin again. He got stripped of his old name, and he's broke. He's got nothing. This was the best version of Corbin we ever had, even though it only lasted for a couple of weeks. Corbin would come out. He would have all this hair. He wouldn't shave. He just looked horrible. One of the most entertaining things in the entire company at that time. Not only did he lose King Corbin, no longer King of the Ring, he lost his crown, he lost his car, he lost his money, his savings, his home, his wife, his daughters, and then he made a GoFundMe. It wasn't a real GoFundMe, it was CorbinFund.com, and it was literally just a screenshot asking people to donate because he needed money. This didn't last for long, like I said, though, because he ends up going to Vegas, and he becomes filthy rich. He wins it big. He's no longer sad Corbin. He's Happy Corbin. And now his name is Happy Corbin for literally years. What a dumb name. You had Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss as a team. What the frick is a Madcap? Riddick Moss didn't even know. So that whole thing goes through. Nobody's invested. Corbin's not happy anymore. Now he's just Baron Corbin again. But his manager is JBL. For some reason, and it had promise. It really did. He's now the modern-day wrestling god. Corbin actually defeats Dolph Ziggler. Again, remember that for later. And I just want to say, nothing came from that, and it was dropped. 2023 WWE Draft Baron Corbin doesn't even get drafted. He's a free agent that can show up on any brand he desires. Where does he go? NXT. This is where he rebuilds his entire career. Some of the best work he's ever put on. He gets put together with Braun Breaker as the Wolf Dogs, and they win the NXT Tag Team Championships. This team was amazing. I wish they didn't get separated. But of course, WWE being WWE, they won the belts. Corbin gets brought back up to SmackDown, and they get separated. And what does Corbin do when coming back up? He has a banger match in his re-debut. Now a good guy for the first time. People seeing what he is capable of with his new gimmick, new theme song. Corbin's never had a bad theme song. And then he's off SmackDown. He gets put in a tag team with Apollo Crews. So starting his career in a feud against Crews, ending his career in a tag team with Crews. Contract expires, ending his 12 years with the WWE. It's such a shame. He was capable of so much. One of your safest workers. Just whoever you put him out there with, it was guaranteed that the wrestler he was up against would be taken care of. Look at when Edge came back in the Royal Rumble. The first person to hit him with a move was Baron Corbin, and it was the safest Deep Six ever. And it looked great. Corbin was just that trustworthy company guy. Go out there, do whatever you told him to do. He make it work to the best of his ability. And what does he get for it? Nothing. 6 days ago, he was just at Netflix HQ filming content for the Raw move. And now he's gone? How do you just do that to a guy? One of your most loyal guys. Just screw him, right? No. Ridiculous. So where does Corbin go from here? He had major feuds against Ziggler a couple of times. He had that connection with JBL. What's been going on in TNA? Nick Nemeth is the TNA World Champion. JBL just came out and basically assisted Nick Nemeth during his match against Joe Hendry, retaining the World Championship. I would love to see Corbin go there, finally get a run with a World Championship against a guy like Ziggler. With JBL, he's got history with them. He's going to come in with a brand new character. Corbin, the wrestler, is great. But Corbin, the human, the actual person behind the character, Corbin's just a cool guy. So I wish all this didn't happen to him, because his world just comes crashing down, at least for now. The only way to go is up. And he's been pushed down so much, literally buried. Take that shovel, dig the dirt, push Corbin in. That's happened before. It's not going to happen again. Now is his second chance at having a very fruitful career, and he can do that. I would love to see him go up against Moose. There's so many fresh matchups because he's been in WWE his entire career, just like Ziggler. He's never had a chance to go out there and show what he can do against anybody else. Now's the time to do it. So Baron Corbin, good luck out there, and this cheer wine, this is a toast to you. I have been your host, Nick Pearl. This was a career retrospective of Baron Corbin in the WWE, and now all we can do is wait to see what he does next. And I can't be the only one that's excited, because he's capable of so much. Let's just keep looking forward. I'll catch you all on the next one. Let's keep rambling, everybody.